Pico. You're watching Thorin's YouTube.
I also have the lovely partnership with Gamer Sups, which I drink every day, usually on my morning stream. I enjoy flavours like lemonade, guacamole Game Fat 9000, it's strawberry and lime, and of course, the classic cherry limesicle. Can't go wrong with blue ras either. There's actually loads of lovely flavours there. Get 10% off with the code Thorin, Thorin. So I told you before about these stupid fucking idiots in shitty little 6,000 follower Aurora CS2. And all so shit, people are trying to escape it. And then like you're using bad interp settings or have bad end connectivity, you think you've got on the corner and you get pulled back and killed. Metaphorically, shout out Resalt. You almost got out of prison, mate. What you have to do, mate, is don't actually put that rope around yourself when you jump across that area to get out of the bin pit. What you're going to do is just make the jump, mate. And if you make it, you make it. And if you die, you end up on Aurora, sort of purgatory for CS players from CIS region, innit? So, of course, they're just baiting every single day. Because JL did a joke, like, hey, it all makes sense now. They just thought, hey, that's funny. I'm inspired to do the same joke. So what they did is they went and they looked up Thorin, and then I had all this rating, like 0.00, 0.00, and 0. Look, he's the worst player ever. I've never played a single map ever on their system. Like, the only reason there's even a stupid fucking rating, that page for me like that, is because at the first ever major, DreamHack Winter 2013, they did a thing where like the show match was like my players, which I don't even think I got to, I think I got to pick out like, there was like maybe like 20 people we drafted or something, and then Lurpus had his, and it was like Team Thorin, Team Lurpus. So they created like a page as all we were playing, but we never played, so I have 0 ratings. So the logic is, like, this is the gag. Oh, it all makes sense now why he's a moron. Because he has the worst stats you could ever have. I never played, did I? And by the way, are you ready? Baiting again for my attention. Let's look at this. They're doing numbers with this, right? It is right now, local time in Europe, 9:35. They posted this at 2:33 p.m. and they have 12 likes and 1 retweet. And are you ready? They did the retweet. I mean, it's a shame we can't see likes anymore, because you know what I imagine? I imagine there's only 11 likes there. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. Probably the guy who actually is the intern, he probably liked it too. Probably 10 likes there. Are you fucking kidding me? It all makes sense. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. You're just a fucking cretin who represents a dog shit team in an org that never was. I will be remembered in the annals of esports history. You'll be remembered in the annal of esports history because you were just some shit that someone did, was flushed and never thought about again. That's it. Then we have another one. Some fucking guy I've never heard of, also 6,000 followers. Fucking hell, bro. I wouldn't get out of bed for 6,000 followers. You know what I mean? And apparently he's some guy who's an Elite Clan ambassador. Do you want to know what's great about that? Elite Clan is this team and community started by Valle, the legendary Swedish player, who actually, by the way, really likes me. And I did a great interview. I used to be in the same team with him. I used to even room with him when he went to events back in the day. And all I can tell you is this. That makes me not want to in any way ever be associated with Elite Clan. Because also they have some dickhead doing their interviews who also used to just flame me on Twitter. So actually at that point in time, like, I'll have plenty to do with Valle, but maybe I'd just say fuck Elite Clan. I mean, this is the sort of behaviour. This guy's an ambassador. By definition, you represent that team. So you know what? Maybe you can all just go and shove it up your arse, Elite Clan. There you go. Isn't that hilarious? Because you know what's funny? I'm exactly the sort of big account that's actually quite rarely does the retweets of community stuff and people that I'm friends with. But you know what? Maybe just give it a miss since you're being a dickhead. So this guy, Ratty, that we've never heard of ever and never did anything, anime profile picture, just decides out of nowhere, apropos of nothing, well, it's actually because everyone wants to farm clout from the GL beef, goes, we need a CS celebrity boxing match. Oh, do we? Oh, brilliant. Oh, great suggestion, right? That is the way that boxing matches work, right? What you do is you just decide there should be one. And then what do you do? Press gang the people into taking part in the boxing match? Okay, guess we've got that. He goes, GL CSGO versus Thorin. Who do you have winning this, right? First things first, if you understood anything about boxing, boxing works on a weight class system. So unless we're in the same weight class, it would be massively unfair for whoever the smaller fucking fighter would. Wouldn't it, you fucking dense cretin? Then secondly, the whole concept of like, we're just going to have to, I don't like Thorin, and I saw he is being tweeted at by GL. He should have to physically fight him. Not only that, not even just a fight. That could just be a fight and end. He should fight in a sport where it's almost guaranteed you will take as much brain damage as possible and take as many blows to the head as possible. And you can even get fucked up, fall to your knees, be all out of it. But if you can just stand up after a slow 9 count, you take more abuse to the head. By the way, is this a fun concept? What's going on here? Like, am I supposed to say what's good for the goose is good for the gander and do my tweet? Should I just go like, who thinks we should have a Hunger Games-esque contest for social media and interns and ambassadors where they are hunted to the death, except the last one who is allowed the gift of remaining alive? Here would be the following contestants. We'd have Ratty, we'd have Aurora CS2 social media intern, we'd have Monty, social media intern. Now, you place your bets on who would be murdered first and in what way. Just like the Saw series in there. Wouldn't that be inappropriate for someone who's an ambassador or a fucking team themselves to be saying, oh, don't worry about that. Let's just go and check. Oh, what's that? Skin bid? A fucking skin sales site? You'd think they'd just stay in their lane and, I don't know, tweet about skins. But nah, what happens is all these social media dickheads are the people who used to be on HLTV forums and were probably blocked by me for definitely doing nothing and never interacting years ago. Please, boss. And then what? So they all dive in to get some clout. And this guy, even that site has 32k followers. Your whole website selling skins has 32k followers. I have 190,000 followers. I'm just a guy from the northeast of England who, as we've established from Aurora CS2, never played a lick of fucking professional CSGO. But you're obsessed with me to the extent that I am framed next to someone who has been in 3 finals in a row, won the major and won the Esports World Cup and is on like what? Fucking almost 2 mil this year in fucking prize winnings. That's the level I'm on. I'm just put next to these people. Sound? Yeah, it's good stuff. And also, if we were to have said fight, how do I ever win in this fight? Did you not see what happened to Richard Lewis? I've always told Richard, I'll never fuck with the idea you're the bitch, because Loda came up to you, went in your face. He'd already intimated on Twitter, like, we'll have a talk backstage. Everyone could read between the lines of that. He came all the way up to you, shouting and screaming, past the security guard. His girlfriend was going, yeah. Came all the way up to you, and instead of just going, hey mate, what are you doing? He came all the way up and put his face right in your face like this, so that it looked like he was going to just nut you right in the fucking face, which anyone who's ever been in a pub fight knows. You never let the other guy hit first, because the second he does that, you might get KO'd, hit the ground, dead from the back of your head, or you're just incapacitated. They start laying the fucking boots in. They're just putting punch after punch after punch after punch. Think of the UFC when you get hit once, then you're like that, and then the person cuts the other one before the fucking ref. There's no ref in real life. If he'd have let that happen to him, by the way, you'd all spin it the other way, that Richard Lewis is a bitch because he got punked by Loda and treated like a little bitch, even though he's a grown man and this is just a fucking nerdy little Dota player. But instead, that didn't happen, did it, pal? What happened is Richard Lewis just got him, fucking threw him off like that. Get the fuck out my face. And then, as a result, you all went, he assaulted him. This can never happen. This is abuse. Violence is not the answer. It's never the solution. And he just aggressively assaulted him and violently. And I've always said this, why didn't Loda just press charges with the police then? Swedish police, mate. I mean, look, for people who look like Richard Lewis, they'd be all over that shit. Haven't you heard how light some of the things that can get you nicked in Sweden for? And famously, as Richard pointed out, when the police guy goes, I think this report will go where it belongs, in the waste paper basket. He wasn't saying that like some corrupt cop in fucking Serpico. He was basically saying what a waste of time this was. I've come out, talked to everyone. He's got in your face and obviously antagonised you. You've antagonised him and thrown him off. This is like kindergarten shit. Can't we all just shake and move on with our fucking lives? Right, so now imagine my scenario now. There's 2 ways this goes, right? I either let him beat me up, in which case I'm a bitch and a loser and a moron, or I beat him up, and bearing in mind, let's just have a quick look, shall we? Let's have a look how old JL is. So JL is 24 years old. I am 41 years old. Even though, by the way, technically he should be in his physical prime. I should be well past my physical prime. That would be treated as, he's just a young guy, a young man. He's basically just a kid. You're a fucking grown man and you just attacked and beat a kid. And they wouldn't even say it was in a celebrity boxing match at that point in time. They just go, it's garbage. It's like when Cadian played Giuliano in that 1v1, which he never should have done, by the way. I mean, he's so sick he actually did do it. If he'd have won, you'd have gone, who cares? You just beat a girl. And then if she wins, even though, by the way, she's easily one of the best women players, maybe the best woman player ever. If she wins in a bullshit 1v1, which isn't even about skill and aim, then you go, lol, he lost to a girl, lol. It's called a lose-lose situation. It doesn't make any fucking sense, does it, you cretins? So don't worry, he comes in. All in on JL. Right, Skinspid website would like you to know that when they fantasize about me having a boxing match with someone I've never asked to have a fight with or a boxing match with, they're going all in on JL. They don't even know the odds, the fucking cretins, but I guess he's just going to destroy me, so you have to go all in, right? CS Money, they have to get involved too, right? CS Money, still less fucking followers than me, dickhead. CS Money has to come in. They even sponsored me once. Tell you what, mate, you hit me up with that again, maybe I'll piss in your face, figuratively. They have to come in and get clout. At least they don't make it about me. Oh no, wait, they do. Papa Biceps will wreck everyone, right? Pasha, who's only ever been lovely to me, even as an identity recorded for me, never ever gotten aggressive with me 1 second in his life. Fact, famously, after that Katowice shit, he even told me in real life, like with Cuban, you should just come to Katowice, mate. I'll be your bodyguard if anyone fucks you. I'll just tell him leave you alone and it'll just be a cool event. And I remember thinking, look, I'm not coming, but what a fucking sick thing to say. What a cool dude. By the way, you know nothing about his personality if you think he is a violent person. The joke is, it's only in MMA I've ever seen him be violent like that. He's a super sweet, lovely guy. He's never the guy at after party fighting. But no, you've decided, because he looks like that now we're not just fantasizing about JL beating the fuck out of me in a boxing match. Now, Pasha, who doesn't even box and does MMA, he's going to come and fuck both of us up. How appropriate for CS Money to be joking about this. Isn't this just on the level of that fucking OG Esports dreaming about me having my face smashed and my orbital shattered? What the fuck is going wrong with these people? Remember, by the way, when I make jokes about how much their team sucks or their site shit, people treat it like a war crime. Like I'm the most evil person ever. I've harmed all of esports, made sure no one can ever get sponsors, and I've actually been just like a fucking bad human being. Meanwhile, everyone's just imagining different ways I get fucked up. Just one punch would do. Cool. Let's just get all the clout, shall we? So remember this one? You'll probably remember her from earlier. If you saw the last stream, you probably remember this Dota analyst and streamer from Jordan. If you ever watched Dota, by the way, she's not bad. Yeah. It's one that, like, it's not even like Pharaoh Woman. I don't even do that shit. Although, by the way, when a lot of women were shit, at least had a logic to it. Actually, she's just a good analyst. But, man, is she one of those sanctimonious fucks on Twitter. So essentially, I won't go through it all again. But she's one of the people who told me to do better if I, built the industry, etc. And implied, like, she could condescend to me and tell me how to live my life and how I should behave in the industry. And then I revealed today that she's just working the Esports Awards in fucking Riyadh, of course. So, is she doing better? She set a great example. It's better than that, though. Here's what's mad. I just knew that, but I hadn't even actually checked her feed. So let's just have a little look down here. Now, I don't even know that I'll read some of this stuff out. I want you guys to read it on screen. So look at one of her most recent retweets. By the way, I'm not a political figure. Although I'll tell you what's hilarious. Pause. Here's a little thing that will blow your fucking mind. I don't ever actually bring up politics except like as a joke, like I'd reference Trump or Biden or something, but it's like a meme. I never actually go on about like, and then this thing, and then this party, and then this policy, and can you believe they're doing that? Because I think it's a fucking waste of time. It's dog shit wrestling, except people let it ruin their lives and the lives of their families and people they meet in the street. But I do if someone asks me a question in like the sections where you pay to ask questions. If someone asks me like what my philosophy on life is or what books inspire me, yeah, I give my philosophy or my perspective and people go, he has to put his bloody right-wing politics into my stream. Say the people, by the way, where like I can't even actually watch any kind of a fucking property from the 80s, 90s or my childhood without it having to like convince me that people have to do certain things with their dicks. That's like a modern thing. Or one of the characters, just inexplicably, for no reason, just being completely of a different race, and not even because that was just an excellent actor that actually went for that particular part. Even when, by the way, it actually ruins the story. Like Liette Kynes in the Dune movies. That doesn't even make any sense now that character's there. Doesn't even connect to Chani anymore. You've actually just taken the whole soul of what Dune was about and the concept of Arrakis. It's like quite a core underbelly to what later happens with Paul and why he's accepted by the Fremen. And you're just taking it out because of... you just want to force people into people's faces. So I think that's fucking mental anyway. But okay, one of these people that loves a retweet about politics. And here's the problem. If you look at what this person's retweeting, you know, they're quite annoyed, you're going to see, if people don't speak up about suffering and people being killed, and especially children and women, in a certain place in the world. Because remember, they're from Jordan. Oh, what's that? What's that? What's that? Okay, political. We're using our bio to do political stances here. Okay, all right. Keep going down. Dead kids. Working on TI, of course. Let's go down a bit more. Working on the Esports Awards in Riyadh. Oh, what's that? You're really concerned about a cyberbullying lawsuit. You're concerned about people being cyberbullied. Insert Tyler, the Creator tweet. It's all about this. It's all about people bullying this person. It's all about the West Bank. It's all about that person being bullied. Get ready for where this is going. Don't look away. Do not, it's retweets. Do not look away. If you look away, then you're like complicit in this. What's going on? That person being cyberbullied again. This person becomes a freedom fighter because he says free a certain place, like in her bio. It's all about that. And don't look away, because if you look away, you're a piece of shit. Except what's that? You're looking away from what is happening to women, children, and gay people in Saudi Arabia, where you will be working at the Esports Award in Riyadh, and they are partnered through the Esports World Cup with the fucking state of Saudi Arabia that is doing that. That executed 81 people in 2022. That puts women in jail for like 20 plus years for doing tweets about women's rights. That's what you're turning away from. You're turning away from that. So do better. In fact, you know what? Don't even just do better. Fuck off. How about that? You've shown you are at nothing. You have no principles. Oh, no, wait a second. No, you do have principles. Am I bad? Because when it's your people, when it's people like you, you have principles. Then you care all of a sudden. Although, even then, that'd be interesting to argue. So here's the weird thing. Why would you tell me to do better when I talk about women? Your logic is you're Jordanian and you care about people from Palestine, but you don't give a fuck about people from Saudi Arabia. You're not Saudi Arabian, so maybe you just don't give a fuck, right? You know the only problem with your logic? I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman. So by your logic, I mean, I do care, but I shouldn't give a fuck. I should just turn away. All the problems that women have, turn away. Or even worse, I could turn away and then I could go and work for Saudi Arabia, who kills and imprisons women. Oh, no, wait, would that be worse than what I did by doing tweets saying that women who attacked me can fuck off, telling me to get out of the industry I built because I am esports? Weird how that works. Tell you what, analyse that, darling. But don't tweet about it if you're planning on going there. Wouldn't want you to go to prison for 20 plus years. We'll go to that later. That's just some banter news. We'll get to that. There's just some hilarious ones I saved over the years I never ever got to, never did videos about. So this one, Gamer Legion made it to the semi-final. Now, funnily enough, they did actually end up winning that match and got to the final of the major, amazingly, because Heroic blew it in the third map, if you remember. But when they got to the semis, if you remember, they'd played fuck all good teams. Absolutely. Literally zero top teams that were good. Nobody good. And they got to the semis of a major. And to get to the semis of the major, do you remember who they played in the quarterfinals? Shout out to Hydra 737. They actually got to play Monty with Boros in the quarters of the major. The most insane major draw probably ever. So they'd gotten to the top four of the major without playing anyone good, without an elite team. So I made a totally reasonable tweet where I go, Gamer Legion, I'm a historian, remember, has the weakest major semi-finals run of opponents beaten probably ever in the history of CSGO. You could believe they were in an online cup. Go and look who they played. You could believe they were, I'll quickly show you. Fuck it, I'll just show you, motherfucker. Y'all go and learn today. We'll just show you for fuck's sake, shall we? Gamer Legion here. So let's go down 2023 Blast Paris Major. This is where Immer and Shui got their work done. So obviously they started in the Challenger stage, didn't they? They didn't even get to start top 16. When they were in Challenger stage, boys, they went 3-2. Are you ready? They lost to Complexity. Complexity this time didn't have a leash. They weren't even good. They lost to the Mongols. Mongols didn't have, I think, Senzu at the time. I'll double check. So I don't think they were even good. We'll keep looking. At the time, Mongols were just all right. They could do the odd upset. Let's have a quick look at that. I'm pretty sure, actually, Senzu hadn't joined the team yet. I could be wrong on that, though. Yeah, he hadn't joined the team. Senzu's probably the best player on their team, by the way. They had Hasteker instead and Bartak. Like, this is a fucking totally different team. But it's banging on you 16-11 on Inferno. 9 T rounds. Then, they managed to win a fucking game. Oh, Lord, they didn't get eliminated. Amazingly, they beat Mouse, but this was the bad Mouse. Remember, this is the Mouse that, look, admittedly, they did a good run after this when they made the final on that Dallas, but this was actually Mouse sort of shitting the bed. This is when they still had JDC and they still had Dexter. Actually, let's look up, since I'm over here, what would the ranking of Mouse have been at this point in time, May 2023? We'll just look it up quickly. This is how you do it if you don't know. Just go to HLTV like this. May the 9th. So we're going to have to go May the 1st. Oh, they did one on May the 8th. Okay. So they've even updated it for that part of the major. Let's go. Mouse was 12th. So not even a top 10 team, by the way. Okay. Nice upset, but not a top 10 team. So not a team that would get you into the semis of the major. Let's keep going. You beat Mouse 2-0. Congrats. Congrats. Next matchup, you play against OG. Let's look where OG was. OG was 11th. This was the one where, does anyone even remember who the IGL is here? Does anyone even know? Who the fuck is the IGL on this team? Does anyone know? Nico, maybe? I mean, it seems inexplicable with his conditions that he'd be the IGL, but who the fuck else is it? Fiku? Who the fuck knows? The Lishman, subscribe, shout out to you. So, you beat them. Still close, by the way. They could have 2-0'd you. You go to the last match, you get Forza. You don't get Monty, who ended up being a good team here. You don't get Team Liquid, who at least had some solid players. You get Forza, an insanely easy 3-2 game. Where was Forza at the time? Shall we have a look, sir? Forza was 16th. So you beat number 12, number 11, number 16. Now look, in the first part of the tournament, yes, that's good enough to get you through this challenger stage. Okay, no problem there. But let's go to the next challenger stage. You went 3-1. You lost to Navi, who was a good team. You beat 9, and I don't want to hear anyone who told me they were a good team. They were just whack as fuck. You beat Fnatic, but we'll see, not the good Fnatic. And you beat Apex 2-0, and they hadn't yet become anyone good. It was this run at this major to the semis that made them a good team. So far, you haven't played any top 10 teams. And then you got to the playoffs, 3-1. Remember, by the way, if you go 3-1, you get drawn. One of the what happens is this: it goes 3-0, 3-0 for 2 of these. One 3-1 guy gets to get lucky and play a 3-2, and then the other 3-1s play each other. And in this scenario, you ended up playing. So you literally could have had. I guess you could have had Apex as well. You ended up playing Monty, and they'd beaten Navi. That's it, and Furia, but Furia wasn't very good at the time. So you can somehow get Monty. And actually, everyone thought Monty was going to win, but you actually just smashed them. And then the semis, admittedly, yeah, you beat a top team. They could have beat you 2-0, but you beat them. So totally reasonable statement by me in my original tweet. No fluff, subscribed. He goes, again, disaster tweet. You have 33 followers. Who gives a fuck about you? Disaster tweet about the format. I mean, why would I know about the format? I've only known for 20 plus years. Drop it, please, right? Stop using your Twitter account to give your thoughts, guy who doesn't follow me says. Close your fucking eyes or turn the tweet off or click somewhere else. You cretin, it'll never make sense to say that. Are you ready for his logic? It'll never make sense. If Tiers 1 teams, already he can't speak English. If Tiers 1 teams beat their Tiers 2 opponents, GL had to face them. Let's go back to this, shall we? Let's go and see if Tier 1 opponents beat their Tier 2 opponents, then they would have had to face them. They would have had to. So, when we go back, as I said, to here, did Liquid, closest thing to Tier 1 at this point in time, where would they even have been ranked? Yeah, they were 7th. Closest thing to tier 1 in this bracket is Liquid, right? So if Liquid beats Fluxor, tier 2, and Gamer Legion wins, then logically Gamer Legion will play Liquid. Oh, they didn't. Oh, my bad, they didn't. They just got to play OG. While Cole had to play Liquid. Cole, by the way, never even went O2. So that already's proven wrong, but let's keep going. Then when you win that one, well, look, Liquid's there. They just beaten their tier 1 opponent, so or 1.5. So logically, you're going to have to draw Team Liquid. There's no way you could get an easy opponent. This person didn't even look at the facts. They're just a fucking cretin spewing nonsense out their face. Just a bunch of soft shit. Doesn't even make sense. Not even listening to my point. So far in this group, that never happened. Didn't happen. Then we'll go into the legend stage. Let's see again if it's actually just, look, Na'Vi beats them. Okay, we're going down to the low one here. But if we beat 9, oh, by the way, wait a minute, we're playing 9. Wait, let me just go back a second. So 9 was down in 17th. NIP's 14th. So you know what? Can we get an IP at this point in time? Oh, wait a second. Why am I saying NIP? FaZe Clan and G2 were down there. FaZe Clan's number 5. G2's number 4 in the world. Now, already you got lucky and didn't draw FaZe or G2. It's almost like my point was correct and you didn't fucking play hard opponents, even though you could have, because the format's fucking shit and is randomised. So you didn't play FaZe and G2. But remember, if anyone beats anyone good, you have to play them. So admittedly, in this round, you couldn't play FaZe and G2. After this, you could have in this round. After this, because they lost. Okay. But NIP won. So I'll tell you what, you're obviously just getting to get NIP in the next match, right? They're the best team available of the wins. So in the next round, you go here. Oh, what's that? NIP drawing against Na'Vi. And you get Fnatic. Fnatic at the time, 15th. One below NIP. Oh, just get an easier opponent immediately. Provably easier. But okay. Remember, let's keep to his rule. Stick to his rule, guys. If you beat that and then tier 1 opponents beat bad teams, you get to play them. So you can't play Na'Vi because you already played them before. And in this case, you can't play ENCE and you can't play Apex, right? Or rather, Apex isn't the top team. So at this point in time, from the low matches though, are you ready? FaZe and G2 just won. Okay. So they're going to go to there. You're going to go pay. Now, remember, because Heroic just beat Liquid, you could play Liquid. So you win your match. They lost to a tier 1 team as well. So logically, you just get drawn against Liquid because you're making the argument that it's just about every single time this team could have played a better opponent. It's just because a bad team beat the better team, and that's why they didn't. So did you get to play against it? Oh, you didn't. You played Apex. Right? Of all the teams available, there's Into the Breach, Apex, Liquid, and Monty. Right? In theory, Into the Breach is probably the worst there. Apex is second to the worst. Monty at least had been wrecking online and mega active. But you somehow get second to worst opponent again. And by winning that game, you don't even have to play a last round of matches that people like Na'Vi and FaZe did. Because remember, if you'd lost this game and actually played a real opponent, like Monty you beat later, so fair play, but say you played Liquid and they'd beaten you, then you'd have had to play one of these teams, potentially. You could have played FaZe. Oh, what's that? I'm totally correct. How does that work? And because you got this bullshit draw, I told you this earlier, you were in a position where you could only play these squads. If you'd have gone 3-2, guess what happens if you go 3-2, like Into the Breach did, and Apex did. If you went 3-2, you could have played Team Liquid, Vitality, and Heroic. Now, you beat Heroic, it turns out. Then I would have given you credit, and I wouldn't have done the tweet. I'd have gone, wow, you made the semis after beating Heroic and Team Liquid in the group. Or lost to Team Liquid. You beat Heroic in the quarters. What a legit run. No, as usual, dickheads don't even think. But no, it's me that did a disaster tweet. And then this guy goes, this is probably the best comment I've read during the whole major. 73 dickheads thought this made sense. Good stuff, innit? Top notch. Top notch. Natural Casts, oh, don't worry, he has 149 followers after how many years on Twitter? Just the 3+. Amateur League of Legends play-by-play caster, UBC psych graduate, student of UX and interfaces. Well, fucking hell, he must have some important shit to say. During that whole women's thing, everyone had to just mention Thorin to get some clout. Am I wrong, shower thought here, am I wrong to think that at this point, Thorin and co. have inadvertently helped the women's cause in esports. I mean, I haven't inadvertently helped the women's cause. I've actually helped literally women make collectively millions of dollars from esports, get them jobs in top companies, make them famous and become known, given them a platform, repeatedly encourage some of the ones that are my friends, because guess what? They're women too. And I don't know, had a bazillion shows, podcasts. I mean, I think I made 4 or 5 signature podcasts just with women. Not because they were women, because they were good. I'm not a dickhead male feminist like you. Was like, women, I am your friend, women. Yes. Stay away from the evil red pill, guys. You should come with me. I would protect you. And, you don't have anywhere to stay. Just so happens I've got a double room, and you know what? You could just stay with me. After all, we're good friends, aren't we? Remember when I told you in that rant that because women who were antagonising me were just alienating people like me who actually like to help and are biased in favour of women, that you're just going to end up with an industry of like sex pests and male feminist fucking weirdos and cynical bastard businessmen who go, I love game change and all that. What's that? Saudis killing people and putting women in prison. Love me the Saudis too. Love all you gays and women though. Like, love you too, but not as much as the Saudis. Make Pride one day this month. Not the usual one. I mean, obviously we're never going to put that on the Middle Eastern page anyway, or the Asian pages. But in the West, only gaslight them for one day, because you know what? The Saudis get what they pay for. Yeah, that's the fucking world. That is the world. So the pushback against misogyny, that's right. When women, en masse, thousands of them, I'm trending for a week, send me the most hateful shit, gaslighting me over and over again that I hate women's esports. I don't want there to be a women's league. I believe women are inferior. I never posted any of that shit, by the way. That's actually me being afraid and hateful of women. It's not women being afraid and hateful of me and ignoring what I'm saying. No. They are always the victim because this guy's a fucking creeper. And the support I've seen for women's opportunities, like the support I've given tangibly, whereas you have 149 followers who've never done anything in your whole career. So you just imagine your support, or you think doing a tweet like thoughts and prayers, that's your support. I'm the guy in that analogy who's actually like pulling people out of fucking foxholes and like giving them fucking food when they're starving and giving them jobs and purpose and meaning in life, direction and leadership. The support for women's opportunities has been fantastic, and I'm very excited to see where it leads. Well, you were doing numbers there on that clout, my dude. 1 retweet and 3 likes. You fucking went ham on that one. Tommy Zane subscribed. In 2020, get ready for a classic. Thorin, totally reasonable thought with an interesting angle to it. A moron just coming in, intentionally misunderstanding and being a dickhead. Notice how the pros who complained non-stop about burnout, this is in April 2020, when we've just gone online and we're only doing online tournaments, and everyone before that, people like Alex and the Astralis players, like, I'm too burned out, I have to quit, I can't do it, CSPPA, do something about this. So notice how the pros who complained non-stop about burnout from travel and promised us time off would mean they'd prac more. They said, if you let us come off and we have a week or two off, we'll do more prac and scraps and level up the tactical game, are literally streaming fun non-CS games. Because at this time, every fucker was streaming like Among Us and Valorant and fucking Fall Guys. I don't even know what was out then, just like fucking World of Warcraft. They just played their matches and then they would just stream shit like that. They weren't actually going and practicing and doing all that. They were just fucking around. Then in comes a dickhead. The number one things dickheads do is they always tell you what your job is when they don't even know what your job is. So it's either journalist or historian or analyst or commentator or caster. Get ready. He goes, you're an esports historian for a reason. Yeah, I'm excellent at esports history. I have a great knowledge of it. No. It's because I'm shit at the game. Get ready. You've never competed at the top level. Right, excuse me a sec. You're not an esports historian, neither have you competed at the top level, so you won't have anything to say in this conversation by your own logic. But no, of course you do. You can prescribe behaviour to everyone. You've never competed at the top level. By the way, is that true? I thought I played in a game at a fucking major in 1.6 and actually beat a bunch of like seasoned pros, like did a bunch of 1vx's, and then, as in individually I did, and then we lost in overtime in the game. But hey, you rewrite history because you also know about being a historian. You know that better than me too. And you don't know, I'll put in the word no, what it takes to maintain a consistent level of top-tier gameplay for extended periods of time. Neither do you. Now, I do know and have known thousands of the best esports players across every big esports title. I've known almost every great CS player and privately talked to them online and or talked to them on camera, on shows or on desks. I talked to loads of, some of them are my friends, but I don't know what it takes for them to do that. You do, a random person on Twitter. Sound. All you do, as soon as they say that, they immediately take someone who does the most work and the most possible thing. I'm even streaming right now while I do all this shit. Someone who does all those things, and they just tell me, like, all you do is the one thing I'm just triggered about. So get ready. All you do is show up to events and shout witty jokes out the analyst desk. Now, I'll give this guy one piece of credit. At least he acknowledges my jokes are witty. He's one of those dickheads who loves to hate me. All you do is just shout witty jokes. Right, I don't ever give like historical framing. I don't ever make any analysis. I'm not ever right about which players are going to be good and which players are bad. I don't tell you little details from behind the scenes about the players. I don't then go and write articles and do videos. I don't appear on talk shows. I don't do all of this for League of Legends too. And sometimes do it for Quake and Dota and StarCraft. And Valorant and Overwatch. And I don't do any of these other things. I just show up and shout at events. And then let's get ready for the actual really important insight you're going to give me into how top-level pros score. There are videos of LBJ, LeBron James, playing football, Steve Nash dribbling a soccer ball, Kevin Love swimming with his dog, but no one with a brain asks them why they aren't practicing draining threes on a court, because everyone knows how hard they work. So he's immediately done a straw man of picking physical sports. In those cases, basketball, where you play 82 regular season games, and already, you wouldn't want to practice insanely hard all the time because you would physically get injured. They wouldn't even ask you to for your team because they want to protect their investment and see you in the playoffs. But in esports, they are the ones who told us, the players, the original tweet, that if they had time off, they would scrim more and develop brand new innovative tactics. They told us that. I'm saying they're not doing that. And he's going, well, you wouldn't know what it takes to compete. I know what they fucking said, though. What does it have to do with them going, listen, if I have time off, I'll practice more strats. And then I go, why aren't you practicing strats? Look, LeBron James fucking plays football. And did you not see Kevin Love swimming with his dog? Give him time off. You're not even listening. You're a fucking clown. You imbecile. Shout out to Ted for the raid. This guy, because we did a video on By the Numbers where I made fun of... Are you ready? It's actually... I might even watch it. I mean, actually, no, it's not on my channel. It's not the original copyright strike me, but basically... Maybe I will watch that part. It's fucking me in it anyway, so why not?
The stickers. Oh, and by the way, guys, you Portuguese fanboys, you don't put your money where your mouth is, because Fox is only £1.38, so get fucked. Anyway.
Well, I mean, Rich, let's be reasonable. Maybe they do put their money where their mouth is, but they have to save up for a while to get to that, Mitch. Come on. Economics. Yeah.
Economics, right.
So because of that joke, where we're talking about Fox, the Portuguese player's sticker, and I suggest that for them to save up and buy it, it's going to take them a while because they are, by definition, quite factually a poorer economy than the one I'm from in America, where we can frivolously buy stupid thing like digital assets that just go onto guns and stickers and scratch them and all that shite. So because I say that detail, this guy, and this is where this is aged, fantastically, because in the meantime, he became a famous person. In the meantime, he went on to become a Valorant coach right now for Saw. Now, they're not that good a team, but they are a real team. So he became a real coach. And look what he said in 2015. This is one of the greatest didn't happen, stupid-ass comments ever. 2015, September. It's because of things like this, you will never go to a major. If you don't know, guys, by September 2015, I'd already worked the first major, DreamHack Winter 2013. I'd gone to EMS One Katowice 2014, but there's a good reason I didn't start that event. Then I'd worked at DreamHack Winter, so I technically already attended 3, but we'll say 2. Then I went to DreamHack Winter for 2014. Obviously, I didn't do Katowice, and then I didn't do Cologne. This would be actually around the time of Cologne. But after this, so there's 2 I did already, because I've already been to a major. But, oh no, he takes care of that. Look down here. He goes, Richard goes, I've done a major. Good point, though. And then he tags us in. And then he goes, won't do it again. I guarantee you that. And then he just starts saying all stupid shit to these people. So he guarantees in 2015, Sorcello, assistant coach of Valorant, guarantees we won't work another major after September 2015. So let's just run them down, shall we? After this, we both worked at DreamHack Cluj Poker. So that's immediately out the window, isn't it? It's completely out the window, isn't it? I think Rich might... Oh, no, this was the year I think where he turned down Cologne because he was doing the package thing. The next year, I worked both majors. Me and Rich both worked at MLG Columbus. Then I worked at ESL1 Cologne 2016. Then the year after that, we worked E-League Atlanta, both of us for E-League. Then I didn't work PGL Krakow because I turned it down because it was in Poland and there's nutters like you there. I don't know. Did Rich work that one? I think he might have because I think he worked with PGL. Then in 2018, I didn't work E-League Boston because I didn't work with E-League anymore. Already went into that in that video on my channel about how much money I made. Then there was Face It London. Yeah, you're right on that one. I didn't get hired for that one because Face It kind of was a bit salty at the time. Then in 2019, I didn't do Katowice because I don't do events in Poland. Interesting detail, I actually was asked by ESL, would I be open to that years later? I told them, nah, there's no point. I'm never going to an event in Poland, mate. And then although interesting detail, I think I told the story before, when we were going to launch Flashpoint before it went online for COVID shit, because actually we started at the end of the last year, we actually had a cool plan that we were going to announce Flashpoint, a league for the teams, by going to Katowice. I said I'd go for this, and we'd do it wrestling style, and we were going to hold a press conference inside that fucking salt mine. We were going to just hold it there. Me, Monty, and like fucking the guy from Cloud9. And it would have been insane, but obviously the whole world went online, didn't it? So we didn't get to do it. And then I worked at Starladder Berlin 2019. I mean, at this point, I did like 6 majors after this guy said. I'm up to like 7 or 8 at this point. Then I worked the first major after the online era, which was PGL Stockholm 2021, the biggest major of all time, still the one with the most prize money ever and the most viewership by far in the final. I worked that one. I was on the finals desk. So you almost couldn't be more wrong factually and in terms of predicted power than this guy. And spoiler, do you know when I was getting hired to those events, no one ever brought up a throwaway gag I made about Fox stickers being €1. No, so for some reason, no one thought that was like a massive deal. Just a mentally ill person like you, who I'm going to guess was probably 15 at the time, right? Oh, shit, he is. Look, he's 25 now, so he was 16 at the time. Brilliant. You little shitter. Just a random person in 2017. Great one as well. I'm so glad that Thorin is no longer at any important Counter-Strike events. Rewind. So I worked at... Starladder 2019 Berlin, then I worked at PGL Stockholm 2021. Those are 2 giant majors. And then I also worked a bunch of other lands, didn't I? I did like ESL1 Cologne 2019, where Liquid won the Grand Slam. I did Star Series that year in China. Where did that get flown up to China in like massive, amazing hotels? That was on that Navi won, if you remember, over Fnatic. Then I also worked at Epicenter, the one that was won by Ziwoo's Vitality over Carrigan's Mouse. I worked CAC, which was won by Carrigan's Mouse over, I think it was Ents in the final, something like that. But yeah, no events though. No important events anyway. You know, important ones. Not them important ones. This is just incredible. Just one of the greatest shot chasers of all time. So when Loba got to play... when he got to play in Imperial, obviously we point out by the numbers that he's just shit, isn't he? Like he's not a pro player. So when he played with them, he immediately, right after the game, just talked shit and tagged us and goes, easiest game of my professional life. What doing, rat and fatty? Tagged us and then immediately got kicked out of the team. His trial was ended for sexual harassment. I didn't have to do anything. He just did it completely straight away. He's did by his own petard. It's too good. It's too fucking good. That's brought me out of it. That's brought me out of the darkness the way I was with that major shit. I know. It's mental. Oh, cool. Right. Well, you know what's fun? Apparently he'd kill me in real life, so you're banned for life. Peace. See ya. See if you can see me. Peace. Bye. By the way, any other big Loba fans? Let's get them all out. Anyone else say need to go? We can just get you to go now. There's no point you watching months more and enjoying this and being able to have conversations, ask me questions in the Q&A. Let's just get you out the chat now, boys. Come and tell me. Come on, reveal yourself. We'll just get everyone out. Get everyone out. So, when, obviously this is a fixture here, I put so much for that crowd-winning team home games because at IM Rio, I was told, oh my God, you better watch out. You better watch out the Brazilian teams have a fucking buff because of that crowd. They played against Cloud9, the Russian team, and they just lost. And I even bet on Cloud9 at an insanely low odds. And I just said so much for the crowd winning home teams games. So let's see, what sort of a statement could anyone possibly have about that? Shout out to 8th Drac. So it's going to be something about one of the two teams or home games on my point, right? No, it's a Brazilian, so it's going to be any kind of corral. We don't even know if this person can speak English and actually read what I'm writing. This might even be from Babblefish. He goes, if you are so xenophobic and proud, yeah, right, by pointing out that the home crowd that I was promised would be awesome didn't win when the home crowd was behind them, the home team, that makes me xenophobic. I hate foreigners because I pointed out someone was wrong. But think about how mad this one is. If you're so xenophobic and proud, let's imagine for a second I was xenophobic and proud of it. Why don't you have the courage to come to the major in Brazil? Right? Think of the internal logic there. If you hate foreigners and you're proud of it, why wouldn't you go to foreigners' countries? Can anyone already see how that doesn't make any sense? Let's go one further. Not only does it not make sense I would leave my country and go to theirs if I hate foreigners, but the idea I would go there knowing people want to attack me, which is one of the reasons I don't like Brazilians, but apparently it's always me that I was just xenophobic first. It wasn't. When I predicted they'd lose a game in 2015, way before they ever did that certain tweet, I was getting people telling me he'd kill me and rape my mother. So, and I'm a dog and all that usual shit. So if you hate foreigners and you know they hate you, why not just come to their country and let them beat you up or kill you? Aren't you courageous? Don't you have the courage to be beaten up and killed? By that logic, right, if he believes that I'm wrong and he doesn't like me, why doesn't he come and say, hey, I'm here in your face now. Look at the courage I've got. I'm going to take on you and 10 of your friends in England. Why doesn't he do that? Wouldn't that just be totally logical? I mean, it just follows. It's a non sequitur. It's fucking nonsense, you actual clown-ass bitch. Here's a good one. 2015. Reasonable statement. Is this person anyone? Why doesn't that load? Oh, it's blocked. There we go. Oh, it's probably blocked. He tried to say this. Sooner or later, someone will stop playing CSGO and will go punch Thorin. I know it's for sure, but sometimes he's a dick. Right, so sooner or later, to him, it's totally logical. He's modelling the minds of pros. A pro will be sat there, and I'll just have talked so much shit, they'll just get up and go, fuck it, guess I'll falter my whole career. Hey, Thorin, and punch me, a man way older than them. These 19 they're just going to come and fucking KO me. Because, I mean, that's just reasonable, isn't it? Your fantasy of me being beaten up. So, and by the way, when I'm making jokes for sure, that makes me a dick. But him wishing someone will assault me in real life, that's not the behaviour of a dick. That's just a cool guy who can chastise others and tell them what to do and castigate them on the internet. Outside Dog 1. Nice sub there. Here's one from this year. This motherfucker is a major MVP. This is when he's just won the major. And even has a girlfriend. We've referenced that before, but it's true, he does. Some guys just don't stop winning. Get ready. This is just one of those weird ones that people make that should have stayed as a shower thought or stayed in their Facebook group. It goes, I love the fact this happened not long after Thorin called him stupid. Right? What he loves is logically, if I call someone stupid, they can't ever be good at video games. Even ones where you just put the crosshair on people's heads and shoot them. And they can't ever win at the game. So he loves that because I called him stupid, he then won a major and then MVP. You may as well have just said, I like turtles. That means about as much. Except that's just honest and wholesome. This is just shit, mate. This is just nonsense. Sticky Chicken, subscribed. Good old Brazilian one. Classic banter here. This is after I did the tweet about Fallen being overrated. Thorin is so dumb. This is a fucking amazing one. This is how dumb Brazilians are, bro. Thorin is so dumb. And actually, technically, I don't know that Brazilians are dumb, but I tell you what, MIPR fans and Fallen fans are dumb as fuck. Is so dumb and xenophobic, get ready, that in a desperate attempt to stay relevant, you have to talk about me, bro. He talks nonsense about the face of the sponsored team, get ready. This is mental. He talks nonsense about the face of the sponsored team Imperial by the same website that sponsors him, Sportsbet. He did the moral equivalent of shitting in his hand and smearing it on his face. Now, does anyone, I'll give everyone in the chat like a quick 30 seconds. Can anyone guess the flaw with his logic there? If you can guess, I'll shout you out and you win a moment's validation. What is the flaw in his logic here? Can anyone say it to me? I'll give you a few seconds. I'll keep talking around that and doing this thing where I talk in circles, then keep it going by, and then basically wait until someone says, what's the flaw of the logic that I talk nonsense about this, the sponsored team of my sponsor and the person who's the face of their team? What's he got wrong about that? Does anyone know? Does anyone know? We can wait. I can edit this out. Oh, apparently I did a terrible job advertising it because, yes, this person, yeah, here's the thing, even the person in my actual chat got it wrong. It's actually a very simple one. Are you ready? If you were going to make that statement, the very minimum fact you would need to be true is that we were both sponsored by the same sponsor. I know people are getting it wrong because they're thinking it's a team sponsor. I'm a person. No. We would both need to be sponsored by Sportsbet, wouldn't we? I've never been sponsored by Sportsbet, ever. Sportsbet is a totally different company. I was sponsored by Esports. Do you see the difference there? Do you see that letter there? E. I was sponsored by Esports. So can you see how me being sponsored by someone else wouldn't have any relevance about me talking shit about whoever the face of Imperial is and their sponsor? But because he's imagined that happened, I did the moral equivalent. By the way, it's now immoral to talk shit on people you don't like. It's immoral. And it's especially immoral if you're sponsored by the same company. If you're paid by the same company, you talk shit on them. That's actually immoral. I believe it's one of the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not speaketh ill of thy sponsors' other partners. I think that's on that one. It was on the first ones when they had the golden calf when you were all worshipping Fallen and then it was smashed. Or was that one? Was it on the rewrite? Anyone know history? I don't know. I'm having a hard time with that one. Oh, no, it's completely not. It's not a moral topic, is it? It's not a moral topic, really, is it? But if it was moral, it'd be the equivalent of shitting in your own hand and smear it on your face. Except you're the entire foundational fact that holds up your whole argument never existed. So I would say this tweet is like you shitting in your hand, putting it in your mouth, and then spewing it out of your mouth all over the screen. And now we have to read that. All because you couldn't go to school or learn how Google works. Do you not have Google in Brazil? What, you have corralho.br? You just type anything in. You go, who sponsors Thorin? It just goes, Carajo, Thorin's xenophobic. And you go, oh, thanks, corralho.br. Oh, good info. I'll probably make some shit about his sponsor. Also, by the way, people who come from a poor background and talk about how you're hateful of their culture always want to take your livelihood from you. For the most minor things that you saw about that fucking Fox fan earlier, you have to have your whole income. You have to actually starve because you don't like the people they like and they don't like you. That's just necessary. This is necessary. Cancel culture. Do you feel in control, Thorin? In control of your life and your work? No. We are in control. Yes, we will take your sponsors. We'll make good use of it. Ah, your precious sports bet. Fuck me. I can't. Why is the Portuguese language just some sort of carrier for mental illness? What's the deal with it? What I don't get is I even know like fucking Giotto and stuff. They're all sound as fuck. Back in the day, even Gowlers was chill before he became a fucking streamer. It's just mental, innit? I know. It's so fucking stupid, innit? Another good one. Are you ready? Thorin's top 10 moments in history. The Guardian show. It's just a video about how awesome Guardian was at Katowice. So in comes a Brazilian, racist, xenophobic, mentally ill. That comes down to you. It would be much better if you had been aborted. Bad character, you are a big piece of shit. All right then. Oh. That's what you get, guys. That's what you get for baiting everyone to stay relevant by doing an article about Guardian at Katowice in fucking 2016. Literally should have been aborted in the womb. I should have been murdered by my own mother before I was alive. Because I'm racist, because I've done an article about Guardian. I'm xenophobic, because I hate foreigners so much. I'm now celebrating someone from Czechoslovakia, and I'm mentally ill. And a big piece of shit. I like the idea, by the way. I'm like, it goes in the opposite order. Start with, you're a big piece of shit. You're racist, xenophobic, and mentally ill. I'm going to edit this for you. That comes down to you, and it would have been better if you'd been aborted. Yeah, how can you once I've been aborted? I mean, it doesn't matter at that point that I'm a piece of shit, does it? Like you've already sort of hit the haymaker at that point. You know, why give me the little pepper jab on the way down? What's even the point? Okay, Rapores subscribed. Foreign Gamer subscribed. Oh, wait a minute, Foreign Gamer, ban him. I fucking hate foreigners, apparently. And Inland CS. Here's a good one. When LS was doing a stream, it turned out on his birthday. I didn't know that. I'm a friend of his, but guess what? I've never celebrated his birthday with him. Not that sort of friend. Only met him in real life like a few times. Just been friends online for 10 years at this point in time. When I made a tweet that didn't even have anything to do with LS. I just said something like, when they drew that group for Worlds, where it was like TSM with Bjergsen, it was Gen G with BDD, who never won the title, or at least not since long due. And then it was WE with Shia. And who was the fourth team? Who was the fourth team in that group? Who would the fourth team be there? Let's look it up. Let's fucking look it up. We'll just have a cheeky look. Let's go Worlds. So it was 2020. It was the one where they went and they got 0-6. And when they drew this group, oh, it was Fnatic. Oh, it was LGD with Shia. I'm pretty sure they had Shia in this team. I'll double check, but I'm almost certain it was Shia and Peanut in this team. We'll just quickly have a look, shall we? Team rosters. Let's go down. So this was the one. We'll just show you the whole thing. So we go Fnatic with Nemesis. Well, I think it's overrated as fuck. You had Genji with BDD, who was overrated because he kept getting like MVP awards because he just had the most player of the game awards. He played as A, and then he had a fucking like ganking jungler, and he used to just get ahead in every game. And that's what won you the MVP automatically, even though Trophy was already better than him at this time. And then you had LGD, like I said, Shia with Peanut as his jungler, and actually Kramer was a pretty good ADC if people don't know. And then you had TSM. And TSM had Bjergsen. So the mid laners are Bjergsen, who's mega overrated at this point in time. You've got LGD with Shia, who's actually pretty good. He's probably underrated. Then you've got Genji with BDD, overrated. And then you've got Fnatic with Nemesis, overrated. So I made a tweet about LS where I basically just said something like, not even about LS. I just said like, oh, you know, like that group's got three of the most overrated mids in the tournament or something. And then LS thought I'd been watching his stream and I was shitting on BDD. I mean, I was. And he thought that, he thought I'd watch his streams about how good he is and he's defensive about that guy. So he just started attacking me in a really rude way, being condescending, because that's just his style. He's a little bit bitchy, a little catty, isn't he? That's his nature. And basically, because I'm a friend of his who've done a whole bunch of million favours for this guy. By the way, he's done 1/10 of the favours for me that I've ever done for him. Coming on my stream and doing shows where he's nothing compared to things I've done for this man. And by the way, I do it because I love him. So he actually then, because he went at me, I basically told him like, what the fuck is this behaviour? Like, you know what? I wish I'd actually released that video. The whole point was I was inferring to him because he knew the story. We recorded an episode where I'll just say something happened. There was an incident with him where he was extremely rude. And I just decided, you know what? Everyone in this call, we're just going to end this show and I'm actually just going to delete this VOD. Don't worry, it'll never come out because he apologised. He was really emotional about it. And I said, you know what? We'll delete that and it'll never come out. No one will ever have to know that this happened to you. Maybe you were going through some shit in your life. Who knows? Don't worry about it. No bother, mate. But then he's just attacking me on Twitter like a year later. So I thought, well, fuck that. So I said, maybe I should have released that video. And then I said something like, I need to be more responsible at the monsters I helped create. So every one of his fans who were like lunatic K-pop stans decided that meant I was saying I had a secret video and that if he didn't literally instantly apologize to me and retract all his statements, I would release it as blackmail. So I have been told for the last 4 years I blackmailed my friend on his birthday. Even though, by the way, after this, he immediately came to me privately, called me, and just basically said what was going on and then apologized to me for everything. Came online and said this. Think about his statement. He goes, feel really bad about this. I've spoken many times about how BDD is underappreciated, even having a 2-hour stream about it once this summer. So I got very defensive over the tweets and responded rudely to a longtime friend / someone who has helped me a lot in my entire career. Now, you would think that if his fans read this, they might listen to what he's saying, but they don't care about him, the person. They only care about the avatar, the idealized version of him that they have a parasocial relationship with, and they don't understand that he's a real person. So they don't care about that. They think it's like a character, and they're like, oh, I wish that character hadn't been done dirty. So he then goes, it escalated pretty quick, but Twitter is never the medium for these convos, and I was in the middle of a stream. Deleted the tweets, of course, would ask if anyone is going to do me a birthday favour. He's asking his fans to do him a favour on his birthday. Please stop atting him or whatever over this. He has done things beyond words for me past 10 years. Every fucking person just basically says, like, you shouldn't apologise. You did nothing wrong. He is blackmailing you. I'm sorry, you don't deserve that behaviour. He's a piece of shit. And I got, like, I probably trended for that fucking day. And so anyway, if we go back, this person responds and goes, as someone who also suffers from anxiety, you were definitely not in the wrong to call him out for saying something that doesn't line up with your expertise on the subject. He did it in a rude way, as he acknowledged, and he's now deleted the tweet. So how would you know? Especially when you're being blackmailed to playing nights. Never happened. Completely fabricated thing in your mind. He's not a friend. He's just begged you and said, I'm a friend who's done things, literally, what did it say there? Things beyond words for me in the past 10 years. Helped me a lot. But a random person, no, I love you more, LS. He's not your friend. He's an abuser. He's not a friend. He's a twat. Right, so LS on his birthday, you're just going to tell him one of his friends he considers dear is a twat. What a lovely birthday present you've given to this guy. And an imaginary scenario. You are fucking mentally unhinged. Everyone needs a support network, and mine is, of course, my Patreon community, the Scrominati, who, in many ways, they're the Sonny to my Cher, saying, I got you, babe. So this video and all the others on my channel were kindly supported by the following names: Ahmed Hadjou, Mac Pugnatio Rajcula, Adam Tomlin, Animosity, Jensen Goh, Tosh, Thooorin, and you know it. Jerky's Minion, my main man, always going to be referenced, one of the best patrons of all time. Would you like to ask a question in my AMA? Maybe you want to suggest a topic or a guest to say on my channel? Do you want teasers? Find out who the upcoming Reflections and Talk to Thorin interviews are. Maybe you want to do one of those long discussions where you get to set the topics we talk about. Well, if any of these or others appeal to you, put your money where your mouth is. Join the Scluminati today via the Patreon link in the description box below.